Hey everyone, welcome to today's video where today we're at Shabu-sen, which is a Japanese barbecue and sushi place in downtown Vancouver. So I was at this place about a year ago, the first time I was in Vancouver. Me and my friend Liam stopped here for lunch and we definitely very much enjoyed ourselves. So here I came back with my friend Scott to really kind of try everything out again. We were at a dinner menu this time, so not a lunch menu. So the menu was supposed to be a little bit more expansive, and the overall cost was, I believe, about $33 a person, but it was a all-you-can-eat. So essentially you just had a piece of paper, you filled out what you wanted, the amount of both the barbecue items and the sushi items, and they would bring them out. So what this place was most memorable for the first time I went was absolutely having these massive pieces of sashimi. In fact, the biggest pieces of sashimi I've ever seen in my life. I remember the lunch menu being kind of limited, and so I was really hoping that the dinner menu would have more options in regards to like the variety of rolls, the variety of different sushi we could get, the variety of sashimi we could get. However, I'm not going to lie, it really was a very limited menu. I would say in total there was maybe 10 different types of sushi you could get, whereas I know a lot of places would have a lot more. One thing that is very true about this place, it is very like authentic Japanese, and it's very, well, I'm gonna call it kind of traditional style sushi, if that makes sense. So like all the sushi pieces and all the rolls, the maki rolls, the hand rolls, etc. I don't want to refer them as plain, but they're very basic, like a very traditional style. Like whereas if you go to a more posh, North Americanized style of sushi, you have all these crazy additions and all these different thingy things, but really this is just like straight up mostly fish and rice, and or whether it's the avocado roll, it's just avocado and rice, or well, I mean the sushi or the seaweed of course, but very like basic. So very basic. Huge pieces though, I mean in regards to the pieces appearing on the sushi and on the sashimi, especially the sashimi, I mean just like bricks of fish, like literally eating fillets, not even just pieces of fillets, but literally like whole fillets when you order like a tray of sashimi. We also went for some of the barbecue. There's a piece of tuna, like just huge pieces. We also went for some of the barbecue. We did some of the pork, we did some of the chicken, some of the beef, although I myself wasn't really into it, and Scott, we had a bit of it, just to say we had it and tried it, but definitely we were more focusing on the sushi. There I had some avocado rolls. I like to take the avocado rolls and mix it with a piece of sashimi, aka a piece of fish, and it's kind of like making a glorified or even larger maki roll in my mouth. I like the kind of umami richness of the avocado and the soy sauce, and then of course the, well, fish, the fishiness of the fish. So really this place again we're really giving credit for is just the huge portions, but variety was limited, and although everything wasn't bad, we really didn't have too many items either. We were like, this is absolutely exceptional. The tuna was good. The tuna is definitely a different kind of tuna that I've never really seen before. It's kind of lighter in color. And then the salmon, the salmon, of course, is salmon. That there is what they're calling, I believe it's called an Alaskan roll or California roll. Their version of California roll is a lot different than what I am. I'm used to California rolls often either being all vegetarian and or having like a deep fried shrimp in it. This was not the case for them, but they had like kind of like a nice crab salad in it, and again, between them and the Alaskan rolls, there was times we weren't really sure what exactly we were eating, but it was pretty good. Maki rolls were good. Scott went with some of the hand rolls. He really likes those things, and he enjoyed them as well. So at this point, we are just like deep into the sushi. I mean, and especially the sashimi. Sushi, sashimi. Now we're getting into some of the barbecue, like just countless orders at this point. In fact, well, I won't tell you how many we actually did, but I mean, I would hate to actually see the amount of fillets and fish they had to cut up just to provide us what we ordered. If you can't tell, I have a cold, by the way, so I kind of sound like a frog, but hey, I mean, we're eating sushi, so how can you go wrong with that? Korean barbecue, or not Korean, sorry, the Japanese barbecue. So very similar style to kind of like you would have a Korean barbecue. However, this was a Japanese barbecue, not to be mistaken with Korean. The meats were similar but slightly different. Still had the short ribs, still had the nice piece of beef, etc., which you cooked yourself on kind of this little barbecue fire flame thing there. In fact, you can see it kind of smoking, and obviously something was burning at this point. So we were, yeah, let's just say we were kind of forgetting about the barbecue at certain points when we're focusing on the sushi. Really, we're just sitting here casually enjoying ourselves. So, getting into some of the salmon rolls. Salmon rolls are usually my favorite, kind of like crispy or spicy salmon rolls. I didn't really enjoy the flavors. Again, overall the flavors were quite simplistic, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, it's just different. Here was what they called a seafood sashimi, which I did try, which is essentially just a whole bunch of little bits of shrimp, scallops, different pieces of fish with kind of a spicy sauce on it. Perhaps some of the reason why I didn't like the spicy salmon rolls, etc., was because of the spicy sauce. The spicy sauce was very different than I'm used to. I'm kind of accustomed to like a spicy mayonnaise kind of style of sauce, whereas this version of sauce, as you kind of saw it on that spicy seafood sashimi dish, is just kind of like a red, almost hot sauce. Like it almost reminds me of like a sauce you'd put on like chicken wings, like a hot sauce you'd put on chicken wings. So it was just very different. But again, not bad, just very different and not quite to my preference as much as like a spicy mayonnaise would have been. I guess just more what I'm kind of used to. So again, kind of recapping so far, we kind of found out that there was not much more of an expansive menu compared to lunchtime, although you are paying about $10 more, about $33 before taxes and tip, etc. So you're looking at about $40 a person. It is a bit of money, so you have to be prepared for that. But again, I mean, the amount of food that you can potentially eat is unlimited. Staff overall and the speed items were coming out, it kind of varied. When we first showed up, things were going a little slower, and then it sped up for a short time, but then it was slow again. Again, I mean, I understand there's other people in the restaurant, but when you only have 2 hours until close and you're having to wait about 20-30 minutes for a dish, I mean, it just makes you have to double question what you're ordering, because we didn't want to run out of time, of course, but at the same time the speed was respectable and relevant for the night. It was a Sunday night. It wasn't overly busy. There were definitely some people in there, but I mean, it wasn't like a full house. However, this place apparently is always packed, and I believe it. So here's kind of those, I think they're Alaskan rolls or California rolls, whatever they're, again, kind of calling them, which is essentially like a crab salad or seaweed salad with avocado in seaweed and the rice, which, I mean, how can you go wrong with that? Out of the meats we tried barbecue pork, or like a spicy pork, the beef, we also tried short ribs, and then chicken. My personal favorite was the short ribs. I mean, who doesn't love short ribs? They're just like nice and fatty and juicy and delectable. That's one right there. See a little bone in it? And little nice glistening pieces of fired beef, which is delicious. Absolutely delicious. So as you can tell, me and Scott, we're just here having a meal. We're not here trying to go overly crazy. We're just catching up. We're having a lot of fun. I don't know where he got that t-shirt from, but it's freaking awesome. I don't know where that other guy, both these guys, I don't know where they got their t-shirts from, but they're really, really cool. I heard you're going to get them at a Teespring store or something. Links are probably in the description or something, but I don't want to give that away. Going to a place like this, you do kind of have to be mindful and a little bit careful in regards to your food safety, because you are cooking your own items. They are, obviously giving you tongs. You have to make sure you don't cross-contaminate. At least throw your tongs in the fire for a little while to kind of sanitize them and all that good jazzy stuff. When we were here last time, they gave us a big pot of tea. So we figured that was just a custom because we never asked for it. Although, look at this sashimi, huge pieces. Which this time they didn't give us tea. And then look at those freaking pieces of sushi, just crazy. That's why we came. And that's where this place really earns its points. Because we're however far in the video, I'll give it away. If you can't tell, the taste was good. It wasn't amazing. The variety was okay. But the sizes, man, like I've never been places where the sashimi is that big, like ever. Not even half of that size. And then, I mean, you get really nice big pieces on the sushi as well. Rolls are medium sized, definitely a good bit of rice on them. So I wouldn't call the maki rolls overly generous. But when it comes to the sashimi, I mean, that's where it earns its points. Of course, there's a little piece of salmon sushi. How can you go wrong with some salmon sushi? They really only had salmon, the tuna. I think they had like maybe an eel, maybe a snapper. I think that was about it. Like very limited. But like was it butterfish? Maybe butterfish. I said snapper, but I think it's butterfish. There's not, like I said, there's really only 4 or 5 options. I didn't actually show the menu to the camera, I don't believe, but I should have. Because a few more options I think would have been nice, especially just with the price tag. But I mean, again, you go to just douse yourself in sushi, and that's what we did. And because of that, I'm not complaining. I mean, we literally priced out how much it would be to go buy a salmon fillet, and I'm sure we ate about 5 of those or 6 of those each, just with those crazy pieces of sashimi. So now this kind of comes down to the question, like, if you're in Vancouver and you want to do an all-you-can-eat sushi, like, should you come here? And that was kind of the dilemma that we were faced with. If you would have asked me a year ago, I would say yes. And at lunchtime, I still think the value is good enough where I would say yes. At dinner time, well, let's just say we actually sized up the other options for all-you-can-eat sushi in Vancouver, and there didn't appear to be too many other really good viable options, which we were really surprised about because there's a lot of good quality sushi in Vancouver. It just didn't appear that the downtown Vancouver is really offering too much when it came to all-you-can-eats. I would recommend coming to this place at lunch. I mean, what was nice about at dinner, which at lunch there was a limited pieces of sashimi, it was only 8 each. When you go for dinner, it is unlimited, but just, you know, be aware that you're really going for like a more traditional style, again, very simplistic sushi. So again, it's like straight fish. It's like, you know, straight avocado. It's not a lot of spicy sauces. It's not fancy sauces. It's not, you know, like anything spicy is not even a spicy mayonnaise. It's literally like a more like just straight kind of weird hot sauce. So like if you just want straight up fish, this is the place to go. Again, like you can just go eat copious amounts of fillets, huge pieces of sashimi, and they obviously keep bringing them. Like we had no issues. We did have to ask for the paper always. Like we always had to ask for the next order sheet. It was never just provided. So, you know, I don't know if that was them trying to slow us down or not, but just ask for your order sheets, get your food. I would recommend, definitely, I'd say the best items we had were, again, just generally the sashimi, these kind of salmon or Alaskan California roll thingy things, whatever the heck they were. And then, I mean, the barbecue was good. I mean, you gotta, if you're gonna go, it's all included, so you gotta get some of those short-ribbed actions in. So that, everybody, I want to thank you for joining me on my sick, snotty nose, but yet delicious sushi endeavor. Hopefully my scattered brain thoughts of this head cold are congruent enough and make sense, because I don't even make sense to myself right now. With that, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. You're going to watch me and Scott even crush a little bit more sushi here. In fact, if you want to see a tally for the total, take a guess. Guess how many pieces of sushi and sashimi we ate. And that, there's some really cool clips of Granville Island, which is a must-see in Vancouver at the end. So that, everybody, enjoy the rest of the video, and huge thanks to Scott. Scott's the man. You guys will see him in some of my videos, and if you're not familiar with him, get to know him. Dude, look at this tuna. This tuna looks great.
It actually, I know.
Like if we go to sushi, that's what we're gonna be eating. No? Look at all the fruits and produce. We basically had the equivalents in Washington. Black grapes. Want some black grapes? Ooh, those are some firm black grapes.
Oh, I left the bathroom window at Birch Bit.
Oh, you leave it open? Did she say that?
Yes.
Oh, did any rain or anything get in? It's just... Sorry, Mom. But they're down there, eh?
Yeah.
So they shot scientific reason why.
Yeah.
So congrats. Congrats, Scott.
Well, thank you.
That's what we need. We need some chocolates. It's like all you need is love and some chocolate.
Congratulations, you finished your
Thank you.
epic shake challenge.
Yeah. Have some
Let's
chocolate.
have some chocolate.
Where's the congratulations?
I had one, and it's the first time heat actually caused my stomach pain.
Yeah, pains,
Most
right?
of the time, it's just like my mouth is on fire.
Yeah.
This time's actual pain.
So fun fact, I one time took a bite of a Trinidad scorpion pepper, like one of these. Actually, it was a bigger pepper, so probably about the equivalent to eating one of those. And holy jumpets, I had such bad stomach cramps, I was in so much pain, discomfort, I was salivating. Never again. Never again. It was so hot, but would not recommend. And Win, you ate one of those, eh?
I did.
Would you-
I had the same experience.
Yeah.
Less stomach cramps, but crying and all that.
Yeah, would not recommend. It's the stomach cramps that got me at it, so.
It's an ugly looking chili.
Yeah, it's not pleasure. It doesn't look appetizing either, so. Just mountains casually in the background of cities. Unless nobody at all thought it was possible.
Right.
Because, like, you know, even when you hear about it, you're like,